Having ranked 123 out of 146 countries in terms of political empowerment, Malaysia has a long way ahead before achieving gender equality in politics. Batu Kawan MP Kasthuri Patto discusses certain factors that are discouraging women from getting involved in the field.
I think the first issue would be to field more female candidates. Last elections, we only had 60 candidates who were fielded in GE14 out of thousands and thousands of candidates that we had seen all over the country. And I think this reflects the need for more women to step forward, to step up and say, I am interested in politics, and therefore the next step would be to put myself out there and to run for a candidacy. But you cannot look at the issue of women's participation in politics and their representation in national assemblies or state assemblies solely based on this alone. The outer ring on women's participation or women empowerment in the political field comes with also ensuring that we move away, or rather we criminalize toxic politics. We know that for decades and decades, the political system has been very patriarchal in the country. It has been, to a great extent, very misogynistic as well. Outside the house and inside the house, not just language, but also treatment. And this is, of course, because of culture. It has been for decades that you have not seen this many women MPs in the parliament, and also an increase of women senators in the upper house as well.
Encouraging more women to participate in politics requires an all-of-society approach. Kasthuri says it should include normalizing the conversation of shared responsibility to lift women's domestic burden.
We often never hear the question of how do you manage time now that you are an elected rep? This question, we never hear it asked to men. Even though they are fathers, even though they are grandfathers, even though they are uncles. But we often never hear them, oh, YB, now that you are elected, how are you going to manage your time between your work and your family? But we often hear that's the first question that they throw at women. How are you going to juggle your time between family and your career? And worse, if you plan to have children, how are you going to do that? So this sort of archaic thinking has to be out the window. If we ask women this question, I think we can also ask men this question too. And then this would stir the conversation on shared responsibility. But having a supportive family is important. Having a supportive system is important. Having a supportive community is important as well. And I think this would drive the agenda of more women to be keen in politics, to put themselves out there. But something so traditional shouldn't be holding women back anymore. There are other avenues that we can look at, and also now brings in the conversation of affordable childcare, that the government also must step up their game in terms of supporting women, not just women in politics, but women who are going to go out to work, who are going to contribute to the economic cycle in the country. I think all this needs to be looked into.